Good evening everyone, Ads here from Unity Trading Group. Welcome to your Thursday night update. Before we begin, hit that like button, tap the subscribe button if you can, and of course tick the little bell to stay updated on all of our future content. More coming soon. Now, BTC, where are we at? Where have we been? What did we say last night? So BTC, we were talking about the 54K again last night, and we did say if we didn't pull through the 38.2, we would fall to that again, and that's what happened. So yesterday we were struggling to make higher highs along that 38.2 Fibonacci level, and from there we did retest the level of demand again at $54,000 for BTC, and seemingly at our level of demand also, and that caused another bounce, or a third or a double bottom you could say, at that level, causing a movement to the upside, very similar to the price action that we saw with ADA. Moving up from there, we did reach the level, or the gravy train resistance, so hidden resistance level in terms of gravy train there, the top of the cloud, and we are sitting on top of the 23.6 currently. So, just adjusting myself, where are we going from here? Well, that remains to be seen, but we can talk about the levels that we've respected, and we can talk about the levels that we can anticipate coming to fruition next. So, from this double bottom scenario, we have made a higher high in terms of the previous liquidity that we've seen, and we moved past some of this liquidity that was stuck underneath the 23.6 fib level, or at around $58,000. The next thing that I'm observed is we've broken past and above the 50 RSI. So that's a good sign for the bulls on BTC. It's also a good sign that we're held above the 23.6 currently, because that means we are retesting the support, or the resistance turn support, that is the previous liquidity that we saw at 58,000, that we pushed through eventually in turn, which was a level of supply at that point. So we are sitting on top of that liquidity at the moment, which is a good thing. So hopefully tonight, over the course of this evening, we can stay above that level. If we do, and of course yesterday if we didn't, and today if we do, we can probably expect BTC to retest our top level of supply, which is around that 60,700 mark. I will paint that in there for you on the horizontal ray. There we go, 60637, around 60650. Say it, for the top of the level of our supply level in terms of BTC. So that's really what I'm thinking at the moment. If we don't hold this level, it's honestly back to the 38.2, and if we retest the 50, there's no reason why it should hold, and we will fall back to the 51 or the $50,000 mark from here. But that's getting a little bit of ahead of ourselves currently. So what I'm waiting for is, I'll reiterate, respecting of the 23.6 from our swing low to high, swing low being the low on the 5th of March, swing high being our most recent high on the 14th of March, and our 23.6 being 58139. We need to hold above this level. If we don't, it's back to the 38, of course, as a bare minimum. If we do, it gives us a fighting chance towards that 60K mark for BTC. So I'm quite interested to see how this is going to, play out tonight. Seemingly like we're on a critical level of support here, and we're in a decent position, in my opinion, to be able to push to the upside. If we look to the 1 hour time frame, we're getting very similar results on the gravy train indicator, and of course it's very nice to see our cloud down the bottom respecting our level of demand. So that's a fantastic result there. But if we're looking on the 1 hour, we're just underneath this 23.6. However, we are more focused on the 4 hour time frame currently. And of course, we have been rejected on this gravy train cloud. So if we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, we're getting a little bit of a different perspective, and we could fall back towards that 38.2, or even this hidden support level there at around that 57 mark, which coincides nicely with a round number as well, or psychological support. You can see the cloud support and resistances there as well. So yeah, that's for BTC. I'd like to see it hold above the 23.6 again, circling back to my first original thought. But if we do fall back, it could be the 57k mark or even the 38.2. If we do hold above, I'd like to see it back at 60. But that remains to be seen over the course of this evening. Hopefully this wasn't just a printing of another lower high, and we do continue the market downwards, because that is always an option. That's always an option. If it doesn't give us a bounce now or soon, then this will be a lower high, and we could shoot for a lower low and start a downtrend towards the downside, of course. But that's probably a separate video and something that I'll speak about if that does happen. If we fall below the 23.6 and then seemingly again below the 57k mark, that's a discussion that we'll probably have on another update. ETH USD will continue this. It hasn't really done much, honestly. We've been moving to the right hand side. It's been pulled up a little bit from BTC moving to the upside overnight, but it hasn't really given us another higher high or even a more structure to play with. We're still trending below the 23.6. So if BTC does push to the upside, it could pull ETH further up with it, and we'll end up at this liquidity to the left-hand side around 1850. But if we're looking at price action just as it is currently, we'll be back at the 38.2 pretty quickly at 1750, I think. So it's going to be one of those things. Do we take into account BTC? Does it pull up ETH? Or are we looking at the ETH price action and are we making decisions based on that? Currently looking at the ETH price action, for me personally, and if we are closing multiple times under the 23.6, I'll probably expect ETH to return at the 1775 level. Moving on though, ADA, USDT. I've been hearing a lot about Coinbase with ADA and its involvement with being listed over the next probably 24 hours, I think it is. So we are reaching a double top scenario or a double top event for ADA, currently sitting at that 145. And I'm pretty happy to say from yesterday's update, just circle back a little bit further, that we were sitting around here where we got some liquidity to the left-hand side, and that level of supply that I was talking about last night, 135, came to fruition, and we made some ways through it quite quickly. So we're sitting at a support level or resistance at 146, and that might be the case, or that might be the top for ADA. We don't know. It could be a buy the rumor, sell the news type event where we do sell or have some selling liquidity come through on Coinbase, or it could be the reaction that we're used to if something hits Binance, for example, and it takes off pretty much immediately. But that remains to be seen tomorrow. Any speculation is just speculation. Any opinion is just opinion. We can only look at price action currently, and that sits at 146, and that will be the telling or the key factor for ADA. We need to break or we will be broken for ADA. And the next level that I'm really interested for ADA would be sitting at around this area here. Excuse me, at 125. You have to excuse the hay fever. It's been ridiculous this year, and of course I've complained about it multiple times, so I do apologize. But for ADA, we are looking around that 125. If we do pull back, if we do not, then we'll be looking towards that 146 for ADA. So not a bad swing, should I say. We were looking at this level at $1 not long ago, a double bottom scenario. You can even look back on some of the old videos to see me talking about that. But from a swing of $1 to about $1.46, I believe that would be around 45%-ish. There we are. So if you were in this market, congratulations. But we only give suggestions. We only give areas that we think will be respected. And of course, that was one of them. So thank you all for following along for ADA. Next one I'll have a look at. We'll keep it a little bit shorter tonight. It is 8:21 p.m. in Melbourne this evening now. So I want to get this video to you guys as fast as possible. So DXY is a regulated market, not financial advice, just ideas and opinions of Team UTG. And the DXY did what we said. So looking at Gravy Train last night and our resistance level just shy of our level of supply. And of course, that came to fruition nicely. If you want to find out more about Gravy Train and its key levels, of course, you can follow the link down below in the description. Gravy Train, www.unitydtradinggroup.com/Gravy Train. It is still available. It will always be available, and it is very inviting, and it's quite good, especially on a regulated market. But we are looking at 92 points for the DXY being respected, and that TA that we drew last night towards the 50 and the 61 area came to fruition nicely. We are seeing it being rejected or being held up on the 38.2 currently. So if we do get a close here in the next probably 2 hours, 1.5 hours, it looks like, we'll probably still end up at the 61.8, where we do see a most relevant level of demand here at 91.22. And that looks like it will be the bottom of the cloud for Gravy Train as well, lining up nicely with our 61.8 and of course our level of demand at that 0.2. But yeah, that remains to be seen. We'll see tonight. And of course, we'll be visiting this tomorrow night around this time as well. So Thursday and Friday nights are going to be posted a little bit later than usual. If I can't get to the screens in time, I'm sure my partner in crime, Ty, will fill in for me. But I will do my best. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Again, if you want to check out Gravy Train, the link is down below in the description, www.unitydtradinggroup.com/Gravy Train. I invite you all to give it a go, at least for a month, see how it goes, see if it fits in with your trading style, because it is a valuable tool and it has been said that way by multiple people so far from our feedback that we've collected. So thank you all for joining us in Gravy Train so far. If you want to join the Discord, of course, links down below as well. But that concludes our Thursday night update. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.